We've spent decades and billions trying to fix self-esteem. What if the thing we kept fixing was never the problem? Self-esteem may be one of the most consequential errors in modern psychology. I call the real problem the identity-image split. On one side is your genuine identity, the deep gut-level sense of who you are that you feel when no one is watching. It's whole. It's capable. It's already enough. It isn't a picture in your head. It's closer to a potential with a force behind it. On the other side is the self-image, a collage of labels, memories, and judgments that could never capture how original you actually are. Here's the trouble. The self-image lives in the easy, conscious talk-about-able part of your mind. Your real identity operates in the harder-to-name depths, so the mind does what minds do. It trusts the picture it can see over the reality it can't. The two collide constantly. And the pain you feel from that collision isn't evidence that something inside you is broken. It's the friction of who you really are grinding against what the mirrors say you should be. It's the pain of trying to appease a lie. Almost everything written about self-esteem treats it as a quantity. You can have more of it or less. Low is the problem, high is the goal, and the work of improving a life becomes the work of raising the number. I want to be fair here. An entire field was built on that assumption by people responding sincerely to real suffering with the best understanding available to them. The suffering is real, but the assumption is wrong in a way that has misdirected an enormous amount of genuine effort. So ask the uncomfortable question: what does self-esteem actually measure? Not your esteem of the self. It measures your esteem of the image you've constructed about the self. We should have called it image esteem. That single correction explains a startling amount, including why so much honest effort to improve self-esteem reliably fails. When you work on your self-esteem, you're working to improve your relationship with a mistaken identity. You're polishing the wrong thing. And it goes further. When you feel bad about that image and reach for the standard tools, accept yourself, be compassionate with yourself. Stop and ask, accept what exactly? Offer compassion to whom? You're accepting and pitying the fake version, which only tightens its grip. Self-acceptance, as it's usually practiced, is image acceptance. Self-compassion, as it's usually offered, is image compassion. The self is fine, it's the image that's badly formed. Once you stop treating self-esteem as a quantity and start seeing it as a reading, the standard prescription falls apart. Low self-esteem is the reading of a division. So trying to raise it is like watching a thermometer report a fever and deciding the fix is to cool the thermometer. The reading is real. The discomfort it reports is not imaginary. But the instrument was never the problem. You can press ice to a thermometer and watch the number drop, and you will have changed nothing about the condition it was measuring. This is why so many self-esteem fixes feel good and then quietly stop working. The techniques that do anything at all tend to work on the interpretation. They soften the judgment, reframe the shortfall as acceptable, the number moves, you feel better. But the split itself hasn't closed, so the relief needs constant maintenance. The underlying division is still there, still generating readings, and the reframing has to be reapplied again and again to keep the number favorable. The gauge gets managed, the condition stays. Worse, the very act of trying to raise your self-esteem keeps your attention pinned to the self-image, monitoring it, evaluating it, tending it. And attending to the image is exactly what sustains the division in the first place. The prescription, followed faithfully, deepens the disease it was meant to cure. For decades, we've treated it as the golden key to a good life. Billions of dollars, books, apps, workshops, entire school programs, all promising to boost it. The message has been loud and unrelenting. Fix your self-esteem and the rest will fall into place. Grades, friendships, confidence, happiness. So how's that going? Anxiety and self-doubt are at record highs. Our feeds are walls of filtered perfection. And the harder we chase self-love, the more trapped a lot of us feel. That's not a small flaw in the system. It's a fundamental mistake, one that has quietly misled an entire generation. The pursuit of self-esteem isn't just ineffective, it's misdirected. It tries to repair something that was never broken, and in the act of trying, it manufactures the very pain it claims to cure. Here's the quiet quirk at the center of almost all modern self-help. It sets out to improve the self. But the thing it actually works on isn't the self at all. It's the image you've built of the self, the mental portrait, the running file of labels and verdicts you carry around in your head. Calling that image the self may be the single greatest sleight of hand in modern psychology. If self-esteem is the reading of a division, then the answer is not to improve the reading. It is to close the division, to integrate, to bring the constructed image and your genuine nature back into one until there is no longer a gap for the instrument to measure. And here is the part that reorganizes everything. When integration happens, the self-esteem gauge has nothing left to read. It does not read high. It reads nothing, because the division it was reporting on is gone. An integrated person does not have high self-esteem. They have no particular self-esteem at all, the way someone without a fever does not walk around pleased about a low temperature. They simply have no fever. The thermometer has become irrelevant to their day. That is the reframe everything that follows is built on. We are not in the business of raising a reading. We are in the business of healing the division the reading reports, after which the reading, having nothing left to measure, goes quiet on its own. Which leaves one question hanging, the one everything else depends on. If your genuine identity was whole and enough all along, how did you ever come to trust the picture over the real thing? The answer starts with something strange about being human. You are the one thing you were never built to see directly. Next time, why being comes before knowing, and what it costs us when we get that backward.